The motto of the 18th German Crime Prevention Day clearly expresses it, ladies and gentlemen. More prevention, less victims. By using this motto, we can also support this as Deutsche Bahn, as the group of Deutsche Bahn. Primary prevention needs to be the focus of our safety and security measures in order to use these preventive measures in order to avoid problems. Unfortunately, in the public debate, very often exactly the opposite takes place. After each violent incident in public space, there is a discussion that starts that looks at the treatment of symptoms only and at criminal prosecution. More video cameras, more surveillance, more police that is present everywhere, more private security teams, and more higher sentences to imprisonment. But will it be those elements, especially higher prison sentences, will they prevent crime? No. How to achieve that is something that we've all been aware of over the past years. And I wonder why we make so little progress and so slow progress on this path. We live in a very safe country. Public transport is particularly safe, safer than any other public space in this country. The police, and for Deutsche Bahn, it's especially the federal police, our private security forces, do make an important contribution here in the best interest of every individual using public transportation. But that alone is not enough. Safety has also a second side of the medal, and that's the subjective perception. What is more important to me? When will I be a victim? Have I been a victim? How high is the risk of being a victim? When we look at the figures of our passengers and put them into a relation with those cases where someone has really become a victim. Well, in Europe, with our trains and buses, we transport about 11 million people daily, and when we look at the number of crime and the crime rate, it's in the thousands of percentage rates. But the public perception differs from that, and it is of course spurred up by those acts of violence that then drive the public discussion into a specific direction, and then nobody, of course, looks into the interest, or hardly anybody looks into the interest of the victim, and everybody concentrates on the criminals, on the delinquents. Well, this is actually the core to the problem, because it's not only about the violent incidents that have led to crime, but it's about a general attitude and behavior that starts far earlier, a behavior that sort of scares people and turns them into victims like that. I'm not only a victim if somebody has really beaten me up or has stolen my purse, or when I feel scared because others don't behave in the way they should. This is also a sort of victimization at a very low level, but this is also something that we need to perceive as victimization, and therefore we have to start out much earlier to not only prevent crime and offenses, but to prevent a type of behavior that we do not want in our country and in public transportation. We really need to focus on that, and we need to change the perception in this respect. And that type of general behavior can only be sustainably changed if we start out very early. Small things. So the breakthrough can be achieved only by development-oriented prevention measures for families, kindergartens, for schools, and other educational institutions. Here, the education needs to start and needs to be implemented throughout our country. We have managed so in other areas of life, like environmental friendliness, sexual education, and health issues. Here we've been very successful, and we need to do the same and need the same approach for violence prevention in order to prevent that from generation to generation. Violence becomes a natural form of communication, and this goes especially true when it comes to education. This is not only the schools, the kindergartens, the municipalities, etc., that are involved here and need to take action. We travel throughout the country, throughout Europe, Europe. And we see that the situation differs from city to city, from community to community. Very many do a lot, others don't do anything. What we need is a networked approach, a linked approach with regard to attitude prevention. We need a national plan, that is our view, a national concept in order to roll out these different measures, at least for the whole of Germany. And at the heart of this task, that's our view, the German Crime Prevention Day and the German Forum for Prevention should be the main stakeholders, the main actors. That is why we support both fora as a large international German company. And we hope that this German Crime Prevention Day will make some input here and set the ball rolling. And we hope for your support in this approach. And I wish you a very successful, very fruitful exchange here in the context of this forum, of this Congress.